Hello everybody, welcome back. It is another Saturday night. My name is Marcy, and welcome back to Heroes of Tethra, our 5th edition D&D Homebrew campaign. This is session 7 for us, because we play bi-weekly. We've been going for a while. Players, welcome back. How are we all feeling tonight?
Ready to go.
I was really wondering if we should do like a critical role, like, that kind of thing that they do at the beginning.
If you guys start doing it, I'm not going to stop you, I guess, but...
Not too shabby. My urge to die today is a little lessened.
I totally misheard that.
Or did you? I have Dr.
The
Pepper.
answer is yes.
Concern.
It's gonna get weird. Just sit down and buckle up.
All right. So, we are back once again. Let's go ahead and talk about what ended up happening last time we got together to be a bunch of crazies playing some D&D, since I don't have any announcements or anything. How's that sound?
Sure.
Let's do that.
Let's do it to it.
So, last time on Heroes of Tethra, our adventuring party, full of the intrepid adventurers that we have before us, delved into the facility that they had just arrived at previously, and an alarm had set itself off. After the alarm had posed an issue for them and worried them about whether or not they would be able to make it into the facility safely, a voice came over the alarm system itself and seemed to be expecting a problem due to the people that were guarding it out front. The party entered into the front door and came upon a large facility dedicated to experimentation and study involving some kind of blood magic, demonic transformation, and monster parts, of all things, as well. After causing combat relatively quickly, with a direwolf leaping up onto the table and stealing somebody's dinner, the party was able to clean up the scene, explore through, and find, eventually, what was the facility holding cell in the back where these demonic infusion rituals were taking place. Several feral goblins were found in the back room and held captive. They looked emaciated, weakened, and that, at the end of exploring through all of the facility, is where we left the party. So, starting into the party, all three of you, with Dream standing on the outside of the door, which is wide open currently, the three of you have walked into this metal grated floor with several slots and holes in it so that you could approach the goblins and begin to free them.
I believe we started freeing some of them already, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah.
I would say it's safe to say that you were able to go and free all of them without any real issue, and that is where we will go ahead and continue on for today. Let's go ahead back over here to this previous soundtrack. Or maybe not that one.
Music.
Let's instead go with something a little more eerie. Okay. So, the goblins have all been freed from their confines, and you now stand here with 6 feral goblins, freed from their chains, weakened, and wondering what the hell is going on. Kaiser made note earlier to break the circle of blood used on the ritual ground. And now, the floor is yours. What would you like to
Because
do?
not dealing with whatever kind of bullshit could have come through that.
Exactly.
So yeah, floor is yours. What would you like to do?
Gonna reiterate to the goblins again that we are here to help them. We're not with the people that were keeping them captured. And that their friend Nidogeen is outside waiting for them.
You're saying all this to them?
Yes.
They don't actually know who Nettlegame is.
Yes, they do. They know exactly who he is.
We gave him the name.
Right.
Starting from right to left, I'm going to start sniffing over them for noticeable sicknesses, noticeable malformation parts. You get what I'm saying? Like something's, if they smell like a goblin should smell, or if they smell like really wrong, unnatural.
I will say that you have only had one experience with the smell of a goblin before, and that goblin was Nettlegeen. So what scent or what smell they might have is going to be foreign to you. Is it the right goblin smell? Is it the wrong goblin smell? You will not have an idea. You have not experienced it.
Okay.
Well, the first thing that we should probably do is tend to their and our wounds.
That's a brilliant idea. Maybe after we get out of here, though. People were able to teleport out of here willy-nilly. Who knows if they have the ability to just pop in as well.
Speaking of teleport and nosing, Maka, any thing that you can maybe try and sniff and pick up on that sorceress that got away from us?
I'm always alert. Whenever that person's scent comes back in, trust me, he'll be the first to know. Besides me, of course. I'll be the first to know, and then I will tell you.
Alrighty, well, the
But I
question
do
is...
agree with Dream that getting back into natural sunlight and out of this oddly decorated den would probably do all of us some good.
Yeah, I agree. This place just smells bad, especially after what we did to the bathroom.
Shall we then? This way.
Question is, are the goblins healthy enough to even move?
Do you want to take a look, try to get a better inspection?
Yes.
Okay, this will be a medicine check then.
dirty 20.
Very nice. With a 20, you can tell that these goblins are extremely exhausted. They will not easily be able to travel for at least a little bit. They're going to need a chance to catch their breath now that they've been freed, and once they are able to catch their breath with something maybe around an hour or so, I would say, they probably would be able to have the strength to walk at least. Anything more than that, you doubt they're going to be back on their feet for a couple days. At least to full capacity.
They're not moving, at least not right now. As good an idea as it and as nice as it would be to get some sunlight, I'll probably need to do the healing here if we hope to even get them outside.
I don't suppose we can carry them?
Do we not have any more rations as well? Do we not have
I have
something we can
spare.
split among them? They are tiny. They do not look like they require much sustenance at the bare minimum. Sustenance.
I can spare some rations to give them. So he'll sort of dig through his pack and start handing out.
Hang on, I've got an idea before you do that. There was just a food hall not far from here, full of food. There still might be some left. That would probably be more nutritious than this.
Up to you.
Wasn't there leftover food in those crates? Below in the room after the one that we fought all of those people.
I think we pretty much picked that clean of what was left in there.
Yeah, I don't think there was much left after that.
So, you two stay here and keep your eye on our new friends here. Dream, would you care to accompany me back to the dining hall? Oh, you're muted, Bengali.
Sorry about that. The neighbors were being loud and moving a lot of things around, so I muted myself to prevent it from going over the stream. I said, by all means.
And as I start to make the walk, thinking about it, I want to cast Detect Magic as well to hunt for anything that might be magical that we might have missed.
Are you casting it ritually, or are you doing an instant cast?
I'm gonna spell slot it and instant cast it.
Where do you cast it at?
I'm casting it here and gonna just take the 10 minutes and just go from here to the mess hall in those
Okay.
10 minutes.
Using a spell slot says that it's instantaneous and will last for those 10 minutes, and you can use those 10 minutes to walk as you go. However, as soon as you cast it in that room, you get a quick ping in the back corner of the room.
The moment that I get that ping, hang on, before we do go, I'll go up here and investigate.
Okay. The source of magic seems to be underneath the grating. It's a matter of just getting through. It's not big enough to squeeze a hand through or anything, but there's something down there.
me to try to grab it?
Yeah, you'd probably be able to see it better as well. There's something down here in this grate.
I'll step over
Okay.
and take a look in, and if I could see if I could reach it, whatever it is.
Yep. Give me a perception check at disadvantage. You're trying to look through small holes in the floor for the grating. It's darkened underneath the floor, so disadvantage.
The moment that he goes to kneel down, I'm going to place a hand on his shoulder, and he'll feel a soothing go over him as I give him a dose of guidance.
Okay. So it'll be disadvantage, but add a d4.
Okay. Roll the disadvantage.
Wait.
Nope, that's not the right command. Oh, I'll just roll an actual d4. Plus 2 more, so 16.
Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Okay. 9 then.
Okay. With a 9, you're able to see something gently glinting. The light is reflecting off of something, but what it is or any additional details not really coming to you. There's something, but what that something is, you're not able to really pick up. It'd be /R1d4.
Okay. So sure, figure it out. So I can kind of see something. He's gonna try to lift the grate and see if the grate comes loose to get under it.
Okay. Trying to lift the grate, it has a tiny bit of give, but stops on something. It seems to be fastened in some capacity. You can attempt to make a investigation check or a... No, it'd be investigation check to see if you can find the mechanism and figure out how to unhinge it.
I'm gonna try to do that. With no modifier, that's an 11.
Okay. 11 is good enough. It's just held into the corner, kind of fastened with standard bits of metal, keeping it connected to the floor slats, the metallic slats of the floor that keep everything kind of up and positioned. You're able to get down into the metal couplings, bend it ever so slightly, and then pop it off, and the grate comes up. Light is able to spill into the area there now that the grate is removed, and you can see much more clearly what appears to be the hilt of a bladed weapon. But just the hilt.
Is it reachable now?
Yes.
I'll pull it out.
Okay. Sure enough, it is just the hilt of what was probably a sword, you can gather. There is no blade. Taking a pretty quick look at it, it's golden in design, has a lot of filigree around it, seems very elaborately made. And taking a look at the pommel very quickly, you see that there is a symbol kind of emblazoned, if you will, into the bottom of the pommel there. Both of you are looking. Either of you can roll a religion check for me.
Okay.
Or a history check, either or.
Same thing.
Let's see here. Sure.
Oh my
Cobalt
goodness.
doesn't know shit.
Okay, so they're the same, but being on the religious side. On a religion, 19.
Okay.
I'm looking at this upside down, aren't I?
No, Cobalt, you see it, but you have absolutely no idea what this symbol is. This is not something that you've seen before. It's completely foreign to you. It looks like somebody marked it with some kind of a symbol. However, Kaiser, you do know, with your connection to Kamida, that this is the symbol of another one of the 12. This is the symbol of Zelu. And Zelu, if I can pull up that note, give me just a moment.
While that's going on, Kaiser will hold out his hand. May I see it? Get a closer look at it, just to make sure.
Yeah, sure. It got some weird marking on it. I don't know what it is.
Yep. And you recognize it as the symbol of Zelu. It is what appears to be a small curved horizon with several beams shooting up from the top of it, because Zelu is the god of sunlight.
Yeah, it's a symbol of the god Zelu. Were you ever taught much about any other members of the 12 Cobalt?
No, because there's only 3.
Okay.
Kaiser's going to sort of hold up a finger for a sec. Like, you can see on his face that his brain is blue screened for a moment at that statement. And he's going to go back to the sword. And just one more quick thing before holding it and feeling the weight of it and looking at the size of the hilt and the pommel. Can I tell what kind of sword the hilt belongs to? Like whether it's a great sword, a long sword.
What weapons are you proficient in?
Simple weapons and longsword.
Okay. This is not one of the weapons that you are proficient in, so give me a intelligence check just to see if you can glean which kind of pommel this would belong to.
You said an investigation?
No, just straight intelligence roll.
Oh, intelligence, okay. Oh, God. Mistakes were made on my side. I'm having to relaunch.
While he is... Oh, no, he's back. So yeah, just give me that d20 plus your intelligence modifier.
A 7.
You're able to gather that this is a bit smaller in your hand than a normal longsword would be. That's it.
This is just another mystery to figure out for later then, and I'll place it in a bag for now.
Okay. While they were doing this, how about the other two?
Well, Dream would make his way into the disinfecting room, I'm assuming, and wait for Maka to come in, so that way he can press the button.
Press the button. The room lights once again, this time with 3 corners of the room lighting up. Maka is in that back corner where one was removed, and the magic does not seem to completely cover him. But he was already clean, so not that big of a deal. And then the door in front of you opens up, leading back out into the hallway. I assume you were heading back over to the quote-unquote kitchen area?
Affirmative.
Go ahead and just skip right there for me.
Okay. Oh.
Never again. It takes my identity away.
Popping in, there were some foodstuffs that you guys did not take here. So there's a decent chunk of additional bits and pieces that weren't made into long-term rations. There's some bits of fresher bread here. There's some uncooked meat. Nothing too crazy, but...
Do you know if goblins need their meat cooked in order for them to eat it?
I have no clue. I assume they're like the rest of you humans that need to have things moderately prepared first.
I'm also not a human.
You walk on 2 legs.
But I'm mostly feline.
But you walk on 2 legs, and you have the aura of one that is human. Not that I would ever want to taste your blood, but if I did, I assume it would be the same bitter taste that I would get from any other humanoid that I have eaten. Not that I've made a habit of eating them in the past. I have experience. Please don't look too deeply into that.
Okay. And just continues to grab food.
Alright, you're able to piece together enough that you think would make for a small-ish meal that you're able to feed to the 6 of them there.
Okay.
It will
I think this potato is good.
Will consist of some potato, bread, and some raw meats. You can attempt to cook it if you like, or you can try to serve it to them raw, your call.
I'm just going to stick to the veggies and the stuff that I don't have to worry about whether or not it cooks for them.
Sure.
I will grab some of the raw meat specifically for Maka, though.
Okay. We'll go ahead and say you have, for Maka's level, 1 meal worth of raw meats.
Okay.
You gather.
Gotta be a lot of raw meat, to be honest.
That's the point. Like, it's 1.
That's still a lot.
It's
dogs can eat their own weight.
Yeah, it's enough to get you through in a meal. It's not like you're stuffed. So it's the equivalent of a ration that would get you for a day. That's what I'm getting at there. Because wolves can eat once and be good for weeks out of necessity, but this is the equivalent of a ration, and it's D&D, so we do things a little bit differently. Anyway, you're able to gather up the individual things that you need, and I assume you're heading back to the other 2?
Yes, and
Oh,
the reason why I just don't trust my ability to do cooking.
That's fair.
So if Dream goes back in that chamber, I'm going to wait right here just in case that one person pops back in with more magic. I do not feel comfortable going through
Mm,
this magic chamber with 2 doors.
then how about this? And I will unscrew the light bulb that I'm at,
Hmm.
and I will unscrew this light bulb.
Okay.
There. Now,
I
you shouldn't have
I
to worry
will
about anything hurting you or touching you in that corner.
I will give it a shot. Are you sure you want the food to be in the same vicinity as that? And that probably by that time the door is already closed.
Sure enough, the door closes as you're saying it. The food that you are worried about is cleaned externally, and the magic does not reach you in that corner. The door then in front of you opens.
Oh, look at that! Whatever you did seemed to work. I can still, and he holds a paw up to us. And says, yeah, I still have. Okay, at least I have my own glands.
Shall we then?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And the two of you rejoin the others.
About how long would you say that all of that took in total?
I would say them going out and gathering up the food and scrounging around to find what they could was probably an additional 10 minutes past what you two did there, picking up the hilt. So you've got about 10 minutes worth if you want.
Because while they were off doing that, with the remaining time that I would have had left on Detect Magic, I would have asked Cobalt to keep an eye on the goblins and to call if anything weird starts happening in the room. And I would have started walking around myself trying to ping anything else magical that's not obvious, like the arcane computer, basically.
Sure.
Okay.
You are walking around and the obvious things are pinging off everything that it is. But because of the nature of Detect Magic, and it's not thick enough to stop, down right around the corner here, in the wall, you're able to pick up several lines of energy flowing through. 3 lines specifically, because you guys did not disconnect all of those lines.
Yeah, I was about to say, but obviously having been in that room and knowing what's going on there, Kaiser can discern that that's just the crystal energy going on. Right?
Yeah, pretty solidly. That's the only thing that pings out for you, though.
Alright, that'll do for now then.
While you're thinking about that room, though, I want you to just make another intelligence check for me. No, wisdom. Just give me wisdom.
Straight wisdom.
Yep.
13.
Okay. With a 13, as a DM to a player, I'm going to remind you that in that room, when you went in, you guys looked through the boxes, you took a look at the coupling that ended up on the wall, but I did mention a couple lockers. you were kind of trying to re-envision the room and everything that was there, to gather, oh, that was the magic coming from those crystals. And in replanting the room, in your mind's eye, if you will, you remember, yeah, there was the boxes, we did that, there were the lockers, there was the containers where those crystals were being held that were kind of in the wall, attached to the wall, and that was all that you remember in that room.
So, as I'm going out, then, would this be around the time that they would be coming back, or would it be beforehand?
Taking a methodical walk around the rooms there, I would say this is when they're coming back, yes.
Alright, I'll just tell Dream then, just get the goblins fed. There's something I want to go check out real quick. Just to let him know that I'm heading out.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make my way through the room and come here and hit the button.
Okay, hit the button. It's a lot less magical this time around. You don't feel nearly as tingly and cleansed. But then the door in front of you opens up and the hallway is available to you again.
A lot less powerful this time. And I'll head back into this room then.
Yep. You also are able to see that the two other devices have been unfastened from the walls. So it's just the one now that's pulsing magic. And moving down into the room there, the storage room, you said, yeah?
Yeah, where the lockers are.
Okay. Go ahead and make a investigation check for me, because you're going to start checking through stuff again, I assume.
Yep. $15.
Okay. It takes you only about 5 minutes to really see that these lockers aren't locked. They're just separate containers, and you're able to open them up and get through and pull out several bits of some interesting, useful things. A couple bits of clothing. There's a spare white coat, like the mage was wearing before. And additionally, you're able to go through and pick out several coins. And I will do the quick math for you right now on the coins. When I say several coins, I mean they put a lot of money in here because they didn't want to bring it around or something, you gather. But it is a total of... Carry the 1. Carry the 1. Oh, that's convenient. 222 gold, 77 silver, 48 copper. Additionally, in one of the corner lockers in the far back, there appears to have been placed 4 metal bars. These bars give off a gentle green kind of sheen to them. Mostly would appear like they were just iron or steel, if not for this slightly green tint to them. And hiding just behind it is some sort of a whistle. So yeah, you got the coins, you got 4 bars of some kind of metal, and a whistle.
Right, and just to reconfirm, the amount of coins you said was 222 gold, 77 silver, and how much copper?
48 copper.
Alrighty. Well, I'll take the money and just throw it in my coin pouch for now. I'll put the metal bars in my backpack, and does the whistle have any like sort of string around it or anything?
No.
I'll just put it in one of my smaller pouches for that then.
Mm-hmm. With that done and taking a look over, you're pretty confident you've found everything that is of use to you here in this room.
Alright, I will head back to the others then.
Okay.
Go
Unless
to
you
the
want to
room.
take a quote-unquote lab coat, you could do that too, because that was
I was actually about to ask as I was going. Geyser would take the coat and try it on to see if it fit.
Yeah, it's kind of tight. Yeah, definitely made for someone a lot less physically gifted, we will say.
It'd probably fit better once if I'm not in my armor.
Possibly, yeah.
That's Geyser's justification for it.
So you got a lab coat too.
Yep, I will take the lab coat for now. Does it have a badge on it with a name or anything, or is it just a plain white coat?
Just plain white coat. Okay. So returning back to the group, Dream is handing out a little bit of food to the goblins, trying to make basic conversation, as Cobalt did as well. And something that stands out for any of you is they don't seem to understand what you're saying. They can gather the gestures and attempt to speak, but what they're speaking just sounds like gibberish to you, truthfully. A bunch of syllables that don't really form words that you're aware of. It's probably language, but it's not one you know.
With that, Cobalt would try to basically rotate through his other 4 dialects to see if they recognize any of that as well. So he'll ask them the same basic question in Draconic and Dwarven, Elvish, and even Sylvan.
Yeah, all the above. Same kind of situation. None of them seem to trigger a response of acknowledgement or recognition.
Yeah, well,
I think we were lucky that Metal Game knew common.
We may need to get him to translate for us then.
At this point, well, we also don't want to ask Metal Game to come in here.
Well, yeah,
Even-
I mean, when we can get them out, we can ask him to translate. Hopefully we can get them out anyway.
Speaking of, I was just thinking that I would like to go check up on him and let him know what the situation is.
you want me to go?
If you would like. You are one of the swiftest of us. That being said, I'm not afraid of going myself.
I already took that potion from before, so I'm not as badly burnt, so I can go.
Very well.
Okay. While he's heading outside, is there anything the other 3 of you would like to do?
Yes, as he's heading out, have the goblins started eating the food that Maka and Dream brought back?
They have, yes.
Okay, well, since they're going to be eating for a little bit, I'm going to settle in and sort of kneel, and the usual glyph that you see appear around Kaiser appears, and he's going to start ritual casting Prayer of Healing.
Okay. That'll be a 10-minute timer, so when the 10 minutes comes, I'll let you know to roll for that HP.
Okie dokie. And I'm going to be casting it specifically on the 6 goblins, since that's the limit.
6 targets, you got it.
I would like to I would like to just kind of sniff over and look at the wounds of the dead goblin that's over here on the right-hand side.
Uh-huh.
Sort of, I don't know, anything that, anything that looks out of place, broken, like broken limbs, broken neck. I don't know.
Sure.
Like what would have led to this goblin's
Yeah.
death?
So, I need 2 things from you. 1, a medicine check. And 2, did you enter into the southern room in the Dialt prison? The holding room, if you will.
I don't think I did, actually. No, because
Oh, you mean the one
I
where
can-
we were all kept as prisoners?
I was about to say the one
Yes.
where our cells were. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't
the
think
room
he ever
just
went in
outside
there.
No,
the
I never
No, he
did.
never did.
Okay. So in that case then, with unfortunately only a 5 on medicine, you're able to gather, just looking at it, that it's a significant amount of blood loss, but that's the only thing you're able to really gather for a cause of death, was blood loss. There's not much more that you're able to gather past that.
Okay. If that's the case, then I quickly lose interest and walk away.
Okay. So Cobalt is heading back outside, yeah?
Yeah. Go through the clean room and be happy about it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you stand in the clean room?
Near one of the active. He will have no problem being cleaned, so he'll go near one of the active ones.
So the only active one, then you're able
Yeah.
to notice that that's the one. Okay. So stepping
Or
outside...
just like put his arms out and just like rotate in a circle near it, just so he can make sure he gets fully clean.
Yep.
And don't forget, you've got your own portable one now too that Kaiser took off for you.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to make that work so I can do this every night.
Okay. So stepping outside, I need you to make a perception check for me.
$18.
Okay. With an 18, you notice from over on this side over here, past this bush, past the tree, you are seeing what appears to be 2 dire rats running from this scene away from the facility. They are about 120 feet or so, already heading out in that direction.
But they're going away from the facility, not like running toward me, right?
Correct, they're going away from the facility. It's noticeable because they are not exactly being quiet about it. They're fleeing in that direction. And that's when you notice that the one person here that you had set up, who was unconscious underneath the tree,
That we did tie up.
that you did tie up, is sitting in a pool of blood, unmoving.
He's gonna run up and look at this a little bit more in depth.
Uh-huh.
What does it look like the rats did it to him, or did something else?
Medicine check.
Nine.
Okay. The context clues and the torn open throat, and I do mean torn, it's not clean at all. You gather some kind of creature, probably the rats, did him in.
Right. Cobalt's gonna I'm gonna sneak up to the corner here and sort of peer around the edge, trying to see why those rats were running, I guess.
Okay. Taking a peek around the edge, we'll go ahead and keep that 18 for you. And let me go ahead and drag in something very quickly. And let's reveal for you the Fog of War.
I feel like I made a mistake.
Oh, I need to do one more thing here, actually. And Fog of War tool is right here. Let's polygon reveal this. Oh, I need to actually click inside of the map. That's a pain. Okay. Alright. Looking around the corner, what you see is what appears to be... Scroll in a little bit for the audience. What appears to be one of these dire rats pinned against the wall here on the outside with a long spine of some sort. It's pinned through its mouth and out the back of its head into the wall. Beyond it, you see lying on the ground in a bit of a pile, kind of slumped over, a mostly green but partially red, smaller humanoid figure with several spikes sticking out of its body.
Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, he's gonna run over to it. Because I have a pretty good guess what that might be. Is that Nettlegeen?
While it was only a short time that you spent time with this creature, it is most definitely recognizable as the unmoving body of Nettlegeen.
Is he alive? Can I...
Medicine check.
$16.
With a 16, you can confirm he has no pulse. The soft portion of his stomach has been torn open and his innards are spilling out underneath him. He has passed from this world.
I assume it probably looks like those rats got him, huh?
With that medicine check, yeah, you can very plainly tell this is done by the rats.
He's gonna look back over where they were running. Can I still see them?
At this point, no. They've disappeared into the tree line and are out of sight.
He's going to sort of slump down and begin a prayer to Rindesh to guide his spirit to the eternal hunting grounds. And he'll sort of slowly somber his way back to the group.
Okay. A little bit of time passes, and Cobalt returns to the rest of the party.
When he comes in, he's just sort of just gonna slump in the corner.
Cobalt?
There was more of those rats outside.
What do you mean? It's common for rats to be outside.
No, the bad ones that we fought that came through that portal.
Do you mean the big ones?
Yeah. They killed the guard that we had tied up. And they fought Nettlgeen. Nettlgeen, he killed one of them, but they got him.
The big rats managed to get Nettlgeen. Do you mean kill him?
He kind of like whimpers and nods.
Dream. Would you mind pressing the button? And Maka's going to walk out.
Cobalt goes with you.
Okay.
Other than
Okay.
Kaiser, you gonna stay in the room there? It's been...
I was about to say, I'm still ritual casting, aren't I?
Yeah, I would say at this point, with the investigation and the looking around and the somber attitude that ended up happening, we'll say the 10 minutes hits now. Go ahead and roll that healing for the goblins. Okay. So I see that's 9 on the dice. That was a 2nd level spell, so that's...
So 17 total.
17?
9 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is 4.
Yep, up to 13.
Then
2 plus the spell level, plus another 4. Yeah, 17. Dang, I forget how powerful life clerics are. Okay. They all seem reinvigorated, but still kind of exhausted. You see them kind of stand up and stretch a little bit, and they are trying their best. They seem definitely able to walk now and move about, and they are still kind of hesitant around you, but a little bit more at ease and capable of moving under their own power, at least now.
I'll just look them at them all, and Kaiser will hold up his hand and just make the follow me motion with his hand.
They look back and shy away, kind of curling up a little bit, as if expecting something from you. Not nicely expecting something from you.
Kaiser sort of rubs the bottom of his shin for a minute, and then he'll walk over to the door and he'll wave at them, and he'll like door server, like just pointing his hand out like you're free.
It takes them a little bit, but one comes forward first, steps here, kind of shies away, doesn't really look you in the eyes, and then darts past out into the room. Stops here, notices that you're not moving, you're not doing anything to stop it, and shouts something out to the others. All of them end up getting up and walking out to meet him, and they progress out to the room here together and head towards the main door over here. But because there's 6 of them, it's just gonna kind of bottle it up, you know what I mean?
And once they are all out, Kaiser, he's going to walk over to this one and pick up its body and carry it out.
Okay.
And then I'll come down and join them. And I'll sort of walk around and sort of take the lead and start trying to lead and herd them out.
Yep. And you're able to do so. Everyone else has gone and made their way outside, following Maka's lead there. So, Maka, I'm going to put you outside there. You just did it for me. Thank you. And the other 2, go ahead and move yourselves as well. And then, Kaiser, we're going to assume that these goblins are all just filing along with you. And the moment that they get around the corner and see the front entrance, they are sprinting the best they can to get out the front door, barreling past the rest of the party, even going so far as to shove them to the side if need be.
Best we can really do is just wish them well.
And if no one stops them, they're going to make their way outside.
Except maybe the dead one, I would assume.
Yeah, the dead one's with you. I just, I'm moving it to clear and say, yeah, he's with you, but that way I don't have to move 2 things with you. And if no one's gonna stop them, they are going to disappear out into the woods over to the east.
The Kaiser's not going to stop them.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll remove these guys from the field. You do still have the body of one.
Meanwhile, to Cobalt, show me.
Hmm?
Cobalt, you there?
I'll go over to the dead body that's beside the tree, and I'll sniff around it. Do I pick up the the unusual scents?
So this time I will say, because it's fresh, you do. This, you are picking up the lingering scent off of the same kind of large, plagued dire rats that you faced off against before. The scent lingers, and with the blood spilled as harshly as it has been here, you are able to pick up as well that something smells off about the blood on top of it all as well.
Mixing the two scents together, though, I can probably easily track, like, the direction these two rats took off, correct?
With a perception check, I'll say. So go ahead, perception with advantage for follow your nose.
Oh, that was bad.
It was, yeah.
Okay, there we go. My mic's working now.
Hey.
It was working a moment ago.
Okay, that makes sense.
Welcome back.
Technical difficulties there.
That's a 21 total.
Okay. With the 21, you are able to pick up that they traveled off to the west and headed out through the trees.
Yeah.
The scent you are able to pick up would take you a little bit out. You're not sure how far you'd be able to follow it, though.
Cobalt will show you around the corner where Nendalgeen and the one that's dead is as well.
I mean, I will follow out of obligation, but I've already picked up their scent, and all I need to know is where they are.
Yep. Turning the corner, you all are able to confirm, sure enough, that this is Nendalgeem's body here. Torn insides are now out, and closer than his body is, in fact, one of these large dire rats pinned to the outside wall with a spike. And this is a spike very similar to the one that accidentally flew out from Nendalgeem when you first met him. It's pierced right through the back of the mouth and out the back of the head.
I'm going to take a few sniffs just to get an even stronger scent.
Mm-hmm.
And embed that in my mind before I tell the others they went out west. I'm going to start tracking them. Keep up if you can. If not,
Good.
I'll come back. And I'm just going to start tracking in that direction.
Okay.
Hold on, before we start.
And as
Yeah,
he
no,
was
I'm-
sniffing that body before he takes off, Kaiser would have followed him to this rat,
Uh-huh.
and he just leans back and just power kicks it against the wall to splatter it further.
Without issue. What was a pure white wall is even more bloody.
And he'll look back. This is why these things must die.
I will say Natural Explorer does give me enhanced tracking.
Okay.
As part of, so as long as I'm here in the forest, I guess I'm going to get something.
The mountainous forest, which means you are going to have advantage on a survival check to track something through it. So go ahead and roll a survival with advantage.
That was almost a 20. 21.
21. Without issue, you are able to follow them out. You are faster than everyone except for Cobalt. So if Cobalt is joining you,
He's keeping up right behind him.
Okay. Then the two of you are able to move out together and keep pace with one another.
I will, because, as Dream and Kaiser begin to fade into the, behind us a little bit, I'm just going to say, it's like, if you lose me, I will begin to howl, just follow the sound, and I will keep. Because I don't want to lose my quarry.
On that note, as they are leaving, though, before they get too far off, you can just hear Kaiser, the angriest that you've probably ever heard him. Both of you just hear him say, "Destroy them completely and utterly."
Okay.
Dream does not actually pursue. He knows that he is not fast enough to keep up with Cobalt and Maka and thinks that he'll just slow them down.
Okay.
That, and he wants to pay respects to Nettlegame.
Same here. Kaiser knows that he can't keep up either, and he wants to deal with these dead bodies, as angry as he is. That's why he uttered out that, to destroy them completely to the two of them as they were leaving.
Mm-hmm. So Cobalt and Maka, the two of you quickly head out, following this scent, following the trail of these two, as you're able to gather with your survival check, dire rats that have made out into the woods. While you are tracking them, Kaiser and Dream, the floor is yours.
Would you care to help me dig a grave for these two?
Yes. I can do that.
And Kaiser, for now, he'll lay the other body down beside Nettlegame, and he'll sort of head over this way and look for a nice little clear area to start digging for both of them.
Okay. It doesn't take much searching overall. As you get closer to the facility, you notice that the trees are a bit more sparse and spread out. You're able to find a small enough clearing that you can dig a couple graves should you need, and you start digging.
And I'll call out over here, Dream. I think this will be a good spot to do it.
Okay.
And with this help, we will start digging those graves.
All right. It's going to take you a little bit to dig and to get that done. Any conversation between the two of you while it happens, or is this a somber moment where it's like focus on the task?
Kaiser is 100% just focused on the task right now, trying to get his anger back under control as well.
Dream is as well. Though he's not really fueled by anger, he's very sorrowful and is thinking about the short little interaction that they had with Nettlegame.
Mm-hmm. Okay. While the digging is taking place, Maka and Cobalt, the two of you are chasing after these dire rats, hot on the trail. You're following out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you can tell at about the 15-minute mark that you're gaining ground. The smell, the scent grows stronger. You've locked in, you've honed in on their scent. Do you continue to pursue?
I don't think there's any hesitation.
It's really strange. It's almost like they have a destination in mind. Most rats that I've ever seen are, well, they're rather sporadic in their running, unless they have somewhere they want to be.
And true enough, it seems like they are running a straight line rather than trying to hide. It does feel like they are trying to run to something. Pursuing a little bit further, you're following the smell, you're following through, and suddenly, in the middle of a small circle of trees and bushes, you follow the scent and you see that there's probably some cover, and you pick up that the scent goes into this circle of trees and bushes. This is where your nose has led you. This is where the trail has led you to.
Keep an eye out. Probably somewhere in this area.
And of course, with the 21 survival for that as well, it's pinpoint. You know this small circle of trees and bushes here is exactly where they went.
They're around here somewhere. Just make sure they don't jump out of a shadow. And I'm
Cobalt,
going to begin sniffing around, because I can blind fight. I don't necessarily need to see them to be able to figure out exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll another perception check with advantage for following a scent.
9. That was terrible.
Okay. The adrenaline, the running, the getting out here, the focus that you have, you're not as focused as you should be, as you normally are. And what you're able to pick up on is the scent that you were following has become strongest in this area, right in that circle, but around it, it's begun to dissipate. You have gathered one of two things have happened here. Either you lost the trail, or the trail ended here.
I immediately begin scanning the sky. Did they get picked up by something?
Some trees overhead. Nothing stands out as different. If they did get picked up, whatever picked them up wouldn't have stayed here, or been flying immediately overhead, so you don't see any sign of confirmation of that.
at this point, out of anger, Cobalt just launches a firebolt at that circle where Maka said that the trail led.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Nine.
Okay. Out of anger, it doesn't seem to find purchase on anything. It's just kind of haphazardly thrown out there, which makes sense. You're not 100% focused here like you normally are.
The sound of the fire, was there any reaction in the area?
Perception check for me.
13.
With a 13, you can pretty confidently say that there was no reaction on a ground level. Some smaller birds seem to have reacted up in the trees and flown off, but you're pretty confident there was no reaction on the ground level.
Are there birds that have stayed, any or small critters that might be around at this point? Any squirrels, chipmunks?
There were some of the birds in the tree.
That didn't scatter?
Starting to scatter. Got a little spooked by it, but not full scatter.
Okay. I would like to cast Speak with Animals
Okay.
and go up to
Tell
one
me-
of the birds in the tree.
Tell me and the audience, how do you go about casting Speak with Animals?
By concentrating on by closing my eyes and sort of seeing the slight threads of magic. In a way, I almost take a hold of one in my maw and let it bleed onto my tongue. And for just the barest of moments, Maka's, for if his mouth is open, there's just this slight dull flash of a glow for like a spark of a second, and then the spell is cast.
Okay. It's a good visual. I like it. Okay, so you successfully cast Speak with Animals.
And looking up at this bird, what kind of bird is it?
For your knowledge, it's a bird.
Is it white? Is it what are the colorings of
It's blackened. It's a black colored bird sitting up in the tree. You aren't sure if it's a crow or a raven or a blackbird. You just know it's black feathers.
For Cobalt's hearing, the wolf is suddenly making the strangest whistles and caws or whatever to speak to this bird. Did you see any abnormally large rodents come by this area?
Oh. Big dog. Wolf. Very big. You speak? Speak with this one?
Yes.
How do? Curious.
Angry. Looking for rats.
Rats. Oh. Rats. Tasty treat. Not recent ones. Recent ones big. Too big. Flew away.
Big. Good. Where did big rats go? Did you see?
Oh, wow. It just points its beak down into the circle of trees and the bushes there. Went there.
I do not see them.
Went there. That all.
Okay. And Maka is going to go where the bird is pointing and just full sniff, full area where the bird is indicating.
Sure. Give me another perception check with advantage, please.
Cobalt has been staring at you like you've been like the dog is broken. Like his jaws just dropped down, his eyes are just wide. Like the fuck?
If Dr. Doolittle was a dire wolf.
This dog broke. I think we need a new one.
Total 19.
Okay. With a 19, you are able to really hone in on the smells that you're getting here. And the smells that you're getting are of two distinct dire rats. You can smell the plague, the disease, the stench that comes with a large rat. You smell it run through the tree into the bushes here. You see the bending of the leaves to make way for them. And then you pick up a different smell. Acrid. You've smelled this before. Almost sulfurous. The same kind of smell that lingered when a portal opened up in the underside of the prison. And you are confident that whatever scent lingered for these rats ended here. The trail ended here. And you smelled what was the same kind of smell as a portal.
Maka sits in that grass, stares up at the sky for a moment in deep thought. They're gone. And then Maka lets out a low, frustrated, but mournful howl at losing the quarry.
Okay.
It's at that sound, Cobalt finally just collapses up against the tree. And in his own mind, he starts cursing off everything, but in Dwarven, because that is the language you should curse in. At least according to him.
Okay.
And then I will turn around and look at Kobold and say, climb on my back, and I will cast Longstrider.
Okay.
He hops on and sort of
I will explain on the way back.
holds on.
Okay. A wolf with a kobold jockey starts to make their way back to the other two, who are currently digging graves for the fallen. And it's a little bit early for it, but we're going to go ahead and take a short break here. So yeah, give us about 10 minutes, everybody. Go ahead, use the restroom, get a snack, get some water, and we're gonna go take care of our little pupper as well. In the meantime, 'cause she's been asking.
Yeah, that's probably enough time for us to curse out Mercy for killing Nettle Bean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Alright, so we will be back, guys. Like I said, 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and we are back. Thank you, everybody, for allowing us a chance to take that quick little break. Our little corgi, our little yamper really appreciates it, so thank you. We appreciate it, too. Hope you had a chance to stretch. Hope you had a chance to get some water, use the bathroom, and all of that. And let's go ahead and get back in to tonight's game. So, Maka and Cobalt, the two of you headed off, tracking down the scent of these large dire rats that had escaped from outside of the facility and were responsible for the death of the guard as well as your recent companion, Nettlegame. Kaiser and Dream, the two of you, stayed behind to dig graves for the two of them outside that had fallen as such. After losing the trail to what seems to be the familiar scent of a portal opening up into this other plane of existence, Maka and Cobalt return back to Kaiser and Dream. Their heads hung low in a little bit of frustration, anger, sadness, all the above.
I share a concern. The goblins that we just allowed to run in whatever direction they so chose, if they were to be hunted down and disposed of the same as Netogene was, should we not consider protecting them, or at least keeping them in sight, so that if something else happens, we can at least be on top of it?
Do you think
I don't-
that we can even catch up to them?
Of course I could. I imagine Cobalt could here as well. Just made it a little easier on him. You can get down now, Cobalt.
He hops down. He's still cursing off in Dwarvish.
Point of order, since the goblins have left and gone in the opposite direction, it's been probably at least 30 minutes. Picking up a trail that's gone that cold is gonna be very, very difficult if you attempt to.
At this point, Kaiser would finally break from silence and sorry, Maka, I know this is going to sound cruel, but we can't keep watching over and sheltering every single thing that we come across and save. Sometimes we just gotta hope for the best. We have our own business to attend to.
Someone said it.
The point that I am making is that it almost seemed like it was purposeful. The rats ran in a specific direction as if they knew where they were going. I have watched and eaten a few rats, and I know that they tend to be scatterbrained when they run about. These ones definitely had a point in mind when they took off, and when I got there, the only scent that I could pick up besides theirs was the scent of the portal, the doorway, you called it a portal, that opened up when we were down in that small den in Dialt. It speaks to me that something or someone purposefully set them out to kill Netogene. And perhaps anyone else who could be considered part of this facility, as you've called it, this large den. And the goblins would be running off. I worry that perhaps they also would become the same likewise target to another portal full of these large dire rats.
They were a liability. This must have happened soon after the scientists teleported away.
Did we not also leave 2 people in this den alive but broken?
Yeah, we left them laid out in the dining area.
Would they not also be now of the same target?
In theory, though I don't know if the rats made it inside. We didn't think to check them.
No, we did not. Would you like to now?
In a moment.
Maka, you and Cobalt, would you go check it so we can finish digging here what we're doing?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so who's doing what now?
Me and Dream are going to try and finish digging these graves while Cobalt and Maka go check the dining room.
PM, pay attention.
I don't imagine it'll take too much longer.
Okay. So, Cobalt and Maka, you head inside, back to the dining area that you were in before. You can tell upon walking in and looking around the area, things remain unchanged from how you left them. If you would like to poke your nose around, take a closer look at things or something like that, but first glance, everything appears to be unchanged.
These two here, are they still unconscious?
Plain to see their chests rising and falling, yes.
Cobalt's gonna sort of tap on the, I think this was the guy with the longsword that kept missing him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna tap on his face trying to wake him up.
Okay. What are you tapping him on the face with?
Just sort of like the backside of his hand.
Quarterstaff? Oh, hand? Okay.
Yeah, no, he's just
I
like,
was about to say, speaking of, didn't you leave a bar of soap in that poor guy's mouth as well?
You did.
oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if... Yeah, okay.
Did he choke on the soap?
You slap him gently across the face, and his body jerks and his eyes shoot open, and it's just muffled. It's just, spits out the bar of soap. Oh God! What the you? And it just looks up at you and is all angry, but doesn't have the energy to do much of anything else but be angry.
Isn't that also one of the ones that I broke their arm? I think both of these guys, I think I broke their arm.
I believe so. We'll go with it.
Yeah, so as he's like staggering up, and Cobalt just says, did you learn your lesson? Or do you need more soap?
Fuck off.
He picks the bar of soap back up and sort of just like shakes it at him.
No, I'm sorry. Just... It's instinct.
We got some questions.
The reason why you were in this den. Do you understand it?
Den? What the... Wait. That's right, you can talk. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I
I
get that a
have
lot.
more soap.
It's just part of my language.
Is he dwarvish?
No, he's human. It's...
Was raised by dwarves.
And yes, the hypocrisy is not lost on me that Cobalt was just cursing like a sailor not 20 minutes ago. But he was cursing off in a different language, so it's okay.
All right. So let me get this. You see him twinge in pain in his arm as he holds it. So let me get this straight. A tiny kobold and his pet dog run in here, steal my dinner, compliment the chef in the same second as you steal my food, then proceed to break my arm, dive under the table. I can't get a hit on you at all to do my job, and then I wake up with soap in my mouth. So not only did I not get food, but now all I taste is soap. Have I gotten basically all of it?
We want to know where Warden Asterfell is.
Masterfell? He's not here, that's for sure.
Yes, life is very strange. Listen, we have reason to believe that anyone associated with this den may be hunted in the future. Do you understand that?
How are you saying this to him? Are you trying to persuade information out of him? Are you trying to intimidate information out of him? Because you just presented him with the people from this place are probably being hunted. So how are you presenting that to him?
This is... I mean, I'm trying to get information, but I'm also trying to inform. So, persuasion?
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me, then.
With my -1.
Yeah. The most persuasive
I did that
people
with
are here.
advantage, and I should have it is an 11 for the first die roll.
First die roll, yep, an 11. Alright. Alright. I'm completely caught off guard. I've got a wolf telling me that there's a chance that I'll be hunted over all of this. Look,
Asterfell sent dire rats to kill people, to clean up his whole thing. The guard that we had tied outside was eaten by rats. So was the goblin that we saved beforehand was killed by the rats. Then the rats walked through a portal.
alright, you lost me entirely. This is the guy talking to you, by the way.
Yeah.
You lost me entirely. Rats? Dire rats? Portals? Look, I just helped make sure that nobody gets out of the facility. Yeah, we had some goblins here, and they're messing with blood.
Well,
as they were
you
talking.
failed today, as we've just... that was 5 goblins, wasn't it, Kobold? 6 goblins.
6.
Are now in the woods. We don't know where they are, but we do know that...
So they're gone.
They are gone. Well, no, they are gone. What is argon?
I think that's an element.
What, like water?
Something. Listen, you. Are you delighted that they are gone?
Honestly? Yeah.
Then
couldn't
why
let
go
them-
through the trouble of keeping them here if you did not want them to be here?
Alright, look, Wolf. Plain and simple, I was being paid to keep them here to the best of my ability. Guard's duty. Keep people from getting in best I can, keep people from getting out best I can. And I did what I could. I gave it my all. The fact that I'm alive is honestly just out of some kind of weird twist of fate. I should be dead right now. I'm glad I'm not. Because
I can
they're
correct
gone.
that.
Yeah, no, I know. Yes, but you didn't kill me before. And I'm not posing
And
any
I am
threat to
here
you now.
trying to ask you if you would like to die later.
Sure,
because
later, when I'm in my
Based
80s.
on our current understanding of what has happened here in this den, anything that has escaped or has been associated with this den is now being hunted by Asterfell's dire rats. Or perhaps something more. I do not know what Asterfell has done. I have also fought one of his more humanoid...
So
He
he's
turned
got,
himself into an abomination.
Thank you, abomination. Abomination is a word.
he's got a kind of a shit-eating grin on his face. And he tries to relax, and you could tell he's in pain trying to hold his arm to himself, and he's helpless still, but he's got this shit-eating grin on his face. So group of you came in here, broke out the test subjects, set them back out into the wild where they came from, and I don't have to claim responsibility for allowing any of that to happen because I did my job to the best of my ability. Look, when it comes to these rats that you're talking about, I ain't never seen no rats. In fact, you're the first damn dire animal I've seen. You're way too big to be a normal wolf, that's for sure. And you're talking. If that's not dire, I don't know what is. But what I do know is Astrofel hasn't been here in probably about a week. We started some experiments. The scientists did their thing, casting these rituals on the floor, trying to do infusions. And when all was said and done, we had a couple people lose their memories. So I did not want to volunteer. So I didn't. I'm just here to get a paycheck. And I got paid. And now there's nothing left to guard.
Remind me of the squirrel. You remind me of many squirrels. Cobalt. Let's look at the other one. Perhaps he will make more sense of these things.
I agree. And Cobalt's gonna hop down from the table.
Mm-hmm.
And before he starts trying to wake up the other guy, he's going to sort of swiftly hit, not like a full-on punch, but sort of smack the guy's broken arm.
Okay. Yeah. So you pop down, you smack him in the broken arm, and just...
Mhm.
I don't think I deserved that. But, okay.
Yes, you did.
If you wish to continue living, you may leave.
Yeah, I'm trying to say I'm good with that. Fuck. He stands up and starts to walk out and away.
Before he gets out, I don't care if he knows it or not, but in Dwarvish, Cobalt's gonna yell for him to watch his fucking mouth.
In the meantime, Maka is going to start licking this archer in the face, trying to wake him up.
Okay. Successfully starts stirring from his slumber. And he's just, no. Come on, I'm trying to sleep. No, just, I know you gotta go out. I don't wanna, just leave me be. And tries to turn over.
So he rolls over toward me. It's like, hi!
Ah! Opens his eyes fully, sees what's going on, and tries to scramble back. And reaches for his side. No weapon there. And doesn't know what to do. And just in the corner now. Just barely backed up right to here.
I'm going to turn to Cobalt. And I will attempt to make this conversation a little shorter. And then back to this guy and say, are you aware of what you were doing here in this den?
You can talk?
Oh my Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus isn't a thing in this world. Oh my gods.
This is bar for the chorus people. This is
Like I told Kaiser, there's just 3, but yeah, gods, still plural. Do you not realize that Warden Astrofel is a very, 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 very bad person?
Well, Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice about that.
And he is making dire rats appear through rifts of portals, and they're killing people that we had left unconscious outside.
Which is exactly why we woke you up. Was because you were unconscious and we thought dire rats might come feast on your bones.
Dire rats? No, we...
Well, actually, the rats kind of just rip people's throats out and then also open up their guts. That way their bowels sort of just fell out.
He takes one hand and puts it around his throat and the other around his stomach. Look, I don't know anything about dire animals or rats or portals or... What?
Okay. The goblins that were once here are gone because we let them go and set them free. But one of those goblins that led us here has been sought after by dire rats that were summoned by Asterfell.
So the one that got out brought all of you here, then?
And was killed for the trouble.
Oh.
Sought after by Asterfell's dire rats. I assume it is because he is a witness of what has happened in this den. And so you, as a witness, could also be sought after by Asterfell's dire rats. Because you are witness to what happened in this den. How am I doing, Kobold?
Very good, actually.
Okay, good. And I wag my tail a little bit.
So you're saying that poor little guy brought you here and he's dead now? Because of dire rats that you're saying Asterfell, the boss of this place, sent in to clean up?
Yes, because he is creating unholy abominations against nature. And
Well,
that is actually what he is doing to things.
I can't agree he is creating unholy abominations, but it's all for a purpose. It's all for the greater good. We don't want to do this, we just need to do this.
Warping and twisting things beyond the light of Rindesh is beyond repair or apology.
Either way, the guard that we also rendered unconscious, like you, was killed by the same dire rats. We tried to spare his life, like yours. I don't understand why. But he's not alive anymore because of the dire rats. Your other friend that we woke up before you, the one with the giant sword, didn't listen to us and just walked away.
Well, all I can say is I've been hired to come in and help out here. None of us really agreed with using unwilling subjects like the goblins. We didn't want them to be here, but with what we know, what we were told, there really wasn't much else that we could do.
Your sense of justice is not a factor in this conversation. Your sense of justice is not going to save you if someone sends large dire rats to kill you. Whether you wanted to, liked to, does not matter. What matters is where you go from here, considering that you may be hunted. And I wanted to let you have the intelligence from here that you may be sought after.
No, none of this makes sense.
Okay, basically, your employer no longer wants to pay you anymore, so he's going to have you eaten instead.
I want both of you to make an insight check, please.
Actually, something I'm good at.
Apparently
not.
Just rolled the same. Oh my god.
Okay.
I jinxed that one, didn't I?
7 and 8.
Yeah, with a 7 and an 8. Continue on, I guess.
Can I smell that he's pissing himself or something? Like,
He's not pissing himself.
okay, well, that's good.
The look on his face is confusion, a bit of disbelief in what you're saying, but mostly confusion. And he'll end up saying, we didn't agree with dabbling in these demonic magics. We did not agree with using the goblins, even though they're feral. I mean, sure, no laws are being broken because they're just ferals, but it doesn't feel right, and we didn't want to do it, so that's why Lydia ended up coming in and setting it up instead to try to work with monster parts. She was doing some research into making the goblins a non-factor, remove them from the necessary components to this experiment that they've had to been running anyway.
Don't worry, words are hard. I understand. Trust me.
I'm not one for a lot of words, that's for sure, but what I do know, what I've heard her talk about, she just kept telling us that something was coming, that we needed to accomplish this, we needed to use demonic power. But that's all
She
I ever got.
fled.
Yeah. I'm glad she
And
did.
I don't blame her. My purpose talking to you is to tell you your life may be in danger from this point forward.
Look, if you're gonna kill me, just get it over with. You keep
Cobalt
dancing around
points at
that
him.
idea.
Cobalt just points at him and just goes, "Clearly you are faster than the wisdom chasing you."
Thank you. I take pride in my speed. But I fail to see how that matters right now. You just keep saying,
That proverb means you're an idiot.
Oh.
I may be a talking direwolf. I understand this is hard to take in for most humans. I am letting you live knowing that you are going to be hunted not by me after you leave, by Asterfell. I am giving you the courtesy of this knowledge before you leave, as I plan to let you leave.
Alright, give me a persuasion check once more.
Not good at these. Oh, 16.
Shit.
Okay. Well, I am completely confused. You say dire animals are going to be hunting me down, and yet here's a dire wolf in front of me saying, I'm letting you live so you can run. And it's because Astrophel is sending dire animals after me, and you're here. Did Astrophel send you? No, because you're saying
I
he's
am
doing
not
terrible
affiliated
things.
with.
No.
I am not
So-
affiliated with Astrophel at
Cobalt-
all.
At this point, Cobalt's just gonna tap on Maka and goes, "Come on, let's leave the dumb one here. Let's go check on the guy we blew up in the potty."
I'm fairly certain that one is dead. Or at least he's going to wish he was. And then as I say that, I'm like walking out the door anyway.
Yeah.
The archer that you woke up, he's mumbling to himself as you left. You're able to pick up. No, none of that makes sense. It's the greater good. I don't understand. And that's all you're able to pick up. Moving down.
It's still stinky.
It is still stinky. There's a slightly still lit on fire. It's a toilet. This guy is actually not here, but he is over here, curled up and unconscious on the floor.
Did he actually crawl a little bit and just
So
and pass out again?
Uh-huh.
Again, just the back of his paw, just tapping the guy.
Okay. It's enough to stir him awake. And he wakes up. And his eyes go bug-eyed, like really huge, looking at you, and he goes into a bit of a panic and
I
almost
understand
faints.
life has been pretty shitty for you recently.
Yeah, right. And almost faints again, but then catches himself. You, what do you want? I just tried to take a shit in peace.
Okay. Focus. Okay, focus. Astrophel.
Okay. The boss, yeah.
Is a very, very bad man.
Yeah, we've gathered.
He is ending your employment by
What?
sending dire rats to kill anybody left alive at this facility.
What?
He already did it to a couple of the guards that we had knocked unconscious and left outside.
No. I got a kid. I got a wife at home. I can't. He tries to stand
Oh,
up and
we are
falls
trying-
forward because his pants are around his ankles still.
We are trying to let you know what is happening so you can leave and not come back. Okay?
Make a persuasion check. Or intimidation if that's what you're going for. And if it's intimidation you're going for, advantage.
I'll take the intimidation, but it's still a -1. So,
Okay.
but we'll try the intimidation. 15!
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want to die. Please don't hurt me. Just let me go. I'll disappear. I'll get some other work. I'll till the farms up in Affarit. That's fine. I could do that, right? Yeah. I could work the farm. I can make money. Just please let me go, please.
You will live this day. But let it be known, Astrophel does not like loose ends.
Ew.
and may send other creatures to finish the job, which is why we are here to warn you. I'm not with Asterfell. Yes, I am a talking direwolf.
Of course you're not with Asterfell. He doesn't deal in dyers. But
Oh, he
Oh
deals
yeah,
with
he
dyers.
does. He
doesn't
sends dire rats through a portal.
Either way, we are doing you a service by letting you live, telling you that your time here in this den is over, and you may go, but always watch your back for dire rats. And with that, because it's been plenty of time and we've already done this twice already, Maka is leaving.
okay.
Kobold's gonna follow Maka and go. And you should think about what you've done, or I'll come back with more firebolts. And then he just leaves.
Uh-huh. As you leave out the door. Tiny kobold is scary.
Oh,
Okay.
I have permanently scarred that guy for life, haven't I?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Both physically and mentally.
That's okay. We'll probably never encounter them again, and you won't have to face the ramifications of your decisions.
All right. So while all these conversations were going on, the two of you were able to appropriately dig some graves, and you have enough space to perform the burials as you would see fit. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, actually, around the time when we get done with the graves, before Maka and Cobalt comes back, Kaiser's just going to look over at Dream and just sort of survey around. Look, between just me and you at this point, originally I was willing to just go after Astrafel, bring him in for proper justice, but this, and he'll motion out with his hand, the graves and the bodies, everything that we've encountered since we started dealing with him, I'm not letting this stand. Astrafel is a dead man when I get my hands on him.
It feels different when it's personal, doesn't it?
It's beyond personal at this point.
I know.
And with that, I'll grab the body that I brought out and I'll lay it into the first grave.
Sure. For the sake of brevity, we'll go ahead and say that the lot of you are able to perform last rites, say a couple words, pay your respects as you see fit, and this time that you'll take will result in being able to take a short rest.
Okay.
So you can all go ahead and use some hit dice as you see fit. Regain spell slots if you can during a short rest and all of that. Any other features that come back with that, etc. And now with that short rest done, and the burial completed, the road lies ahead of you. Your choice for how you wish to proceed.
I actually prepared a short thing for while I'm setting Nettlegame into his grave.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Very simple. But as Dream sets him down, he says, "Though the sun sets on us all, your dusk came far too soon. May you find peace and come at his light as you go into the eternal night." Goodbye, Nettlegame.
Your spirit rests with Kamada now.
I am so sorry. I forget how short rests work on healing. Do you just get the 1 hit dice, or
You get to use as many hit die as you can. It's 1 per level as you would go through.
okay?
And you can choose to use as many or as little as you wish. And there is no, I have to decide beforehand. You just like, I want 1. That wasn't enough. I'll do another. I still want to do more. No, I'm good then. So that's all it is. And you roll it and add your con modifier. And then that regains your HP there.
Oh,
I had to dump 3 of mine, and I still didn't get back to full HP, as much damage as I'd taken.
Alright.
Okay. I'm only using the 1 hit die.
Okay.
I only had to use 3 of my 4, and I'm up to full health because I rolled 2 natural 10s out of my D10.
Yeah, I see that. Alright.
I use. Well, I'll use a second. Just to see. Yeah.
I believe it also has your con modifier.
It does add the con modifier right away in the Roll20 setup there, yep. So it's very nice.
3 is actually what I needed left, so.
And there you go. Alright.
Eyes hurt.
Yeah, we were a little beat up in there.
So, with a short rest completed, your wounds a little bit more manageable, and your goodbyes said to your new friend who's gone too soon. The road lies ahead for you to do as you see fit.
Wasn't there a town near here?
Affarit.
Feel like...
Unfortunately, I believe that our business has concluded in the area, unless we can... Or this presumably was the facility we were looking for.
Well, if you remember, one of the guards at the gate mentioned, and we came across a paper suggesting that Astrophel might be at Gunner's Pass, waiting for a shipment of something to help him with this atrocities.
Why do not humans spend more time in dens like that? It had everything that a human family would need. Why do they choose to build their houses on top of the ground?
Because some of the things in that place are very, very wrong, but also it costs money to make things so large and grandiose.
I suppose that was a fairly large den, yes. Cave, quite.
Cobalt's a little conflicted now because he wants to go to Affarit, but he also wants to help hunt down Astrophel. Because and he'll tell the others that he did find some of the paperwork that they had. It mentions a relic was sent to Affarit for storage.
So there might be another facility in the area you're saying,
Or
or at the very least a warehouse.
Or they're storing stuff, but the relic that they described might be one of the ones that I'm looking for.
Interesting.
Yeah, so to repeat the note and information that you have on that, you did find out that something known as the Eothph's Gaze was moved to storage in Affarit, and 2 + 2 being 4, you're able to piece together that whoever placed it there, and chances are it was done so under the behest of Masterfell, has a storage location in Affarit. You also, back in Dialt, had the captain of the guard there say that the best information she could gather was that Astrofell's last known location was in Affarit.
Which, if I remember correctly, was our original destination to begin with before we got sidetracked with this.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. And then the guard at the gate asked, when we were saying that we were here to see Lord Astrofell, he asked why we weren't at Gunner's Pass, and then we came across that paper that also suggested there's a shipment coming through that very place, heading here.
So, what's the plan?
If I have a say, I'd say, or my vote would be to go to Astrofell.
And I get that you're in a hurry to get to your artifact, but the fact that that document you found said it's in storage means it probably won't be moved for a while. Once we deal with Astrofell, I promise we'll head straight to Affarit for you to get it back. But we need to basically, if possible, try to cut the head off the snake at this point.
But how much further is this Gunner's Pass? The other thing we could do if we went to Astrofell is resupply.
Keep in mind that snakes are venomous. So, when fighting a snake, don't let it bite you.
That was just a figure of speech, Maka. It basically means we got to take care of the head of the problem, the head honcho behind it all, to shut the operation down.
I understand now, but I still worry about how dangerous snakes can be. Most of the time, even most animals in nature, save for some stoats, do everything they can to avoid a snake when they come upon one, because they know of how dangerous it can be, and to charge directly at one seems reckless.
But
Or
yeah,
some, yes, but not all snakes are actually venomous.
but for
That
the
is
DM,
also true.
But for Mr. DM, since Cobalt did bring up a good point, I guess the question would be, how far out are we looking at to get to Gunner's Pass? Is it out of the way from Affarit? Is it past Affarit? Would we have to go through one or the other to get to the other?
Give me a history check. Any of you can.
Dream, what do you think?
Well, except
21 for Kaiser's.
Okay, we'll stop with the 21. Having known the general path that you were going to be taking after leaving a previous town that you were in, you know that there are basically 4 key towns in this specific quote-unquote territory, if you will. Dialt being one, Thornbaldor is another. Gunner's Pass is a third, and then the largest of the four being Affarit. You know that Dialt is furthest to the south, and the other three are along the mountain range. As the mountains begin to curve northward and create an opening to head towards Doranil proper, Gunner's Pass is located there at the mountain pass. In order to get there, you have to traverse deep woods, snow, hills, mountains to get there, or safely you can go through Affarit out and up. Affarit is closer overall to Dialt, where you came from, and you would likely have to pass through Affarit or come close to, but doing so without going into the town will just be harder for the sake of being harder, based on the terrain, the layout of the area.
So basically, the more straightforward path would be to go from here to Affarit, and then the safer path to Gunner Pass.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
Okay. Well, with that knowledge, then that would change how Kaiser would present the plan.
By all means, go ahead.
So, Kaiser rubs his eyes for a moment. Well, no, I was wrong earlier. Going through Affarit would be the best way to get to Gunner Pass. So maybe as we're passing through, we can maybe grab a couple of quick supplies, inquire around for Cobalt's artifact as we're making our way through.
And for the record, I understand that Astrofel would take precedence. If we could just figure out where he's keeping his stuff, we could come back. I understand that.
Well, in the meantime, I think Affarit is our more straightforward course of action at this point. Agreed?
I suppose so. I did not know the locations of things, so I've been just sort of traveling and wandering.
It would be faster and easier, to put it simpler, to go through Affarit to get the Gunner Pass. Dream, Maka, that sound good to the two of you?
Yes.
I do not think that our plans have changed as much as I thought they might a few hours ago. So yes, we were on our way to Affarit before we met Dentalgene, and I think we should still do so now.
Alright, to Affarit it is then.
Okay. With the time that has passed, you're starting upon midday. You're able to continue to navigate northward in the same direction that you were heading before. Not much of an issue remembering what direction you were going, kind of idea. And you're able to begin navigation. Who is leading the pack?
Not Cobalt. He's already said he gets lost easily anyway.
Well, unless Maka's nose knows on this situation, then Kaiser will take the lead.
Okay, whoever wants to, go ahead and make a survival check to navigate your way through this area.
Oh god.
I'll do that.
Bob.
Oh.
Oh,
I'll lend
you want to do
because-
it?
Well, I was gonna say as a ranger, I can easily lend to this. So
Yeah, so if you want to do it, feel free. I have the feeling you'd probably be better off at.
I believe I do so with advantage.
Yes, you do.
What the ever-loving fuck? I just got a 7 on an advantage with proficiency with a 4 proficiency. Oh my god.
That is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. 7. Okay.
Good luck, DM.
Yep.
Describe away.
So,
One more quick aside. As that conversation was going on, Kaiser would have been working on something specific,
sure.
and I'll get to what that was here in a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Progressing forward, it's... You know the general direction where you're heading. The issue that you run into, Maka, is things start to become familiar for you. And the familiarity of this area, because you've been here before, you've seen these sights, smelled these smells before, it starts to distract you. And your mind isn't as focused as you normally are. It's not keeping you as goal-oriented as you normally are when it comes to these treks that you would go through. Thoughts of your past, thoughts of what happened, they start coming back to you. And you find yourself getting a little bit turned around, and you will lose a day of travel because of this.
I lower my ears, tail. I apologize.
Is everything all
I
right,
feel
Maka?
embarrassed. But I think I may have led us astray.
You're able to gather that you've not been able to navigate in the correct direction the way that you really wanted to go, and the sun is beginning to set. So at this point, you can try to continue on through the night, or you can set up camp and get your way through that way. What would you guys like to do?
I think that we are all very battle weary, and maybe we should rest and have clearer heads on a better path tomorrow.
Yeah, we're physically, emotionally, and mentally drained at this point. I think some rest is definitely called for.
Did we at least get away from the facility, or did we circle right back to it?
You can't see the facility. You still had about a day's travel left to get to Affarit, and what this ended up doing was kind of cutting your travel time in half. You not recognizing the direction you were going, trying to go around some larger rock formations, and it didn't work out, so you had to backtrack to get around. So it was more a lot of obstacles that ended up catching you by surprise to slow your progress, but you still did make progress away from the facility for sure.
Okay.
So, you guys settle down to go for camp and get yourselves a proper rest. I'm going to go ahead for the sake of brevity here on this one. We'll say you guys go ahead. You're able to get yourself your meals. You're able to eat, mark off rations as need be. You're able to get that long rest. There is nothing that happens overnight, so you can all get a long rest and regain what you need there. And you'll be able to wake in the morning feeling refreshed, if not a little bit somber still, and ready to tackle the day's journey. So with that, Maka, if you're going to try again, go ahead and give me a survival check once again, with advantage.
This time, as he goes to do it, though, to give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, Kaiser would just put his hand between his ears on his head and put guidance on him.
In this case, because this is a long-term situation and guidance only lasts for a minute, not going to have any real relevant on this one.
Alright then.
That's
21.
better.
That was so
I knew that
much
makes
better
up for the
that
other one.
both of them were natural 17s. So
See, just needed the rest.
you gave him the gentle head pat for the guidance, and the guidance goes through. But obviously, all he ends up taking it as is like a gentle head pat and reassurance.
You got this, buddy. I have faith.
Thank you. I apologize for yesterday's blunder.
No, it's fine. Everybody had clouded heads yesterday.
Happens to the best of us.
This time, Maka, you are in the zone. You are able to focus. You're able to see all of these distractions that would have kept you and did keep you yesterday out of the focus of your mind, and you are laser focused in get to Affarit. You travel for about half of the day. The sun is just past noon, so probably around 2 or so in the afternoon, and the tree line begins to break. And through the tree line, you see several farms spread out around what appears to be a civilization, several buildings. These farms are, from what you can tell, currently not being manned. It is in the afternoon. Normally they do their thing in the morning. But there also seems to be a little bit of disarray with these farms. The crops are not plentiful. Several of them appear withered and dead. You push through, heading into the farm area, not seeing people around, not seeing anything that's really catching your attention. You push forward a little bit closer to the city, and Maka, a familiar scent hits your nose.
I was wondering when that was going to come in.
This scent is that of dire rats.
This is not the scent that I thought was going to happen.
The smell is lingering. It's not fresh, but it is all through these fields. A breeze carries it up and ends up passing it by. It's the smell of death, plague. And it seems
Maka
that these
lowers
rats
his
have
head.
hit in this area too.
Maka lowers his head and his ears, tail begins to bristle. They've been here. The dire rats. I smell them everywhere in these farmlands. I begin to track the smells.
Okay. The smells are so faint that you're able to pick up the general area that they are there, but it's so faint that you can tell that they haven't been here for a couple days.
Well, I'm following where
Out into the farmlands.
yeah, and or toward wherever the smell is strongest. I'm just following wherever the smell is becoming stronger. This is more of a hot and cold kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. It's not becoming stronger. It's just a blanket of this smell.
Ah, okay. God, it's like they've been everywhere. They're all They've been everywhere in these farmlands. But it has been a little while. It's like Affarit was attacked by a lot of them. And I look toward the rest of the group.
Honestly, the more that we get involved in this, the more I'm actually starting to become worried about the people of Affarit at this point. If Ashrafell's been operating out of there, who knows what he's been doing to the town itself.
The group of you continue on, passing through the farms and getting closer to the town proper. There are several guards that you can see manning the main entrance. 6 at least on the ground, with a couple in raised guard towers flanking both sides of the road that you would use to enter into the town. Crossbows are loaded from these archers in these towers and are aimed down to watch over the fields rather than the people themselves. The guards stand 3 by 3 on each side, kind of forming a wall to check over the people as they come in. Currently, there is nobody entering in, and they see the lot of you approach.
Do they have an issue with us walking with Maka?
Right now, you're about 120 feet away or so. And they see everything that's going on here. They're eyeing you down. That's a natural 20. Okay. And the lot of them pull spears from their sides and set them forward. The archers up above seem to be trained and aim down at you, at the group.
Kaiser will put his hands up, like, and sort of surrender to show that we're not looking for trouble.
Cobalt actually puts himself in between Maka and them and sort of readies his hands, almost ready to catch an arrow coming at him.
One of the guards shouts out, "You lot over there, you're traveling with a dire. The dangerous creatures. What are you doing here with one of them?"
Typically, yes, they are dangerous creatures. I agree there. But this one is tame. As for while we're here, we're just weary travelers looking to pass through, get some supplies.
There ain't no such thing as a tame dire. The man-eaters is what they are.
There's no worry. Cobalt just shouts, "There's no worry. I'm more dangerous than he is, for I am a dragon."
Wait, a dire? You never told me you were a dire.
Wait, are you saying that to are you saying that to kobolds or me?
I'm saying that to Maka.
Oh, okay.
Cobalt's shouting at the guards that he is a dragon.
Yep.
Yes, I would classify as dire.
How quiet are you being with that?
Very quiet. Like I'm like half whisper.
Give me a stealth. It's not a high DC. You're pretty far away.
It doesn't matter. Stealth. Oh, wait, I gotta take off advantage. Oh, 13.
Okay. Tie goes to the runner. Okay. The guard goes and shouts back, "Of course he didn't tell you he's a dire. It's a bloody animal. What? And you, a dragon? You're so small. What in the... Being around it must have corrupted your brains. Alright. What you're gonna have to do is step away from the dire, and we'll take you to the infirmary. We'll get a cleric to look at you."
I pointed at guys. We have a cleric.
I am a healer. Yeah. There is no corruption here.
Alright. Make a persuasion check as a group. I want a persuasion check from the three people talking. So, Dream, Cobalt, and Kaiser. Make a persuasion check, please.
I hope you guys roll high.
I mean,
I'm set on advantage. I'm glad. 5.
Yep.
son of a bitch.
And we're waiting on my roll?
Yep.
Come on, Dream. Save us.
Sorry,
The 15. Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So, because this was a group roll, what I had you guys do is all three of you were rolling to do kind of a group persuasion against the group of guards to see how they were going to react to this. The DC was 12. 2 failures and 1 success means that unfortunately you did not pass this group persuasion check. Whenever we do a group situation like that, group stealth, group persuasion, something like that, any natural 1s will automatically count as 2 failures, and natural 20s will automatically count as 2 successes.
Could I have helped in any of this by just acting laying down, ears low, acting like a puppy, that sort of thing?
If you want to, I'll allow it. But next time we gotta do that beforehand.
I'm sorry, I was...
It's okay. We're new to this, so if you want to, I'll allow it.
Okay, then yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
With my negative one.
Mine worked out well.
Okay.
Am I the only one that has any form of charisma?
You are the baseman of the group, basically.
Yep. Okay. So 3 failures, 1 success. The guards go and yeah, he might be a healer, but it's obvious he's too far gone, all of you. Now just step away, and you can come quietly, and we'll go ahead, and we'll take the dyer into custody, we'll get you to an infirmary, and that's it, and we'll move on. Just step away from the animal.
Oh, Lady Kamada, help me.
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
The
He's
6
stepping
guards
away either. He's a friend.
The 6 guards begin to step forward towards you. Their spears still pointed, and they're moving slowly.
Should I leave or just begin talking to them? And I'm not, like, whispering at this point.
You're not whispering?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I figured, like, this is going very poorly, and I might as well make it official that I am not normal, other than being dire. Like, I'm not a normal dire. You get what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. So, Maka says that, and the one furthest forward, the one who was calling out, he goes, wait a second. Did he just talk? And he turns to the guys, did you just hear it? Did that wolf just talk? Yeah, I think that wolf just talked. That's kind of strange, isn't it?
And as an aside to the group, I go, this is actually kind of exhausting.
In the confusion, I would like to cast mage armor on myself, just in case.
Okay.
And kind of interpose myself between the soldiers and Maka.
Yeah.
Again, just in case.
Okay. The guy who was up furthest and was doing the talking, he raises his hand up in a fist to go ahead and signal for the rest of them to halt their advance. They do. And he puts the spear to his side, but still close to him. Alright then, Wolf, you can understand me?
Perfectly.
And you can understand and speak the common tongue. What is this sorcery?
That's you're not far. You're getting warmer. I'm being way more sarcastic than my character should be.
Cobalt just goes, it's not sorcery, it's talking.
I was given the gift of intelligence by a man, maybe you've heard of him. It's been a couple of years since I last ran into him. Did you know someone by the name of Bellinor?
I need to do something very quickly.
Okay. It's great when you get the DM to just start rolling like crazy.
I think this is the first time we've actually received a name.
Yeah.
That's why I is doing something.
I'm not trained in history, otherwise I'd ask for a roll.
Here it is. Opening up my documents. Okay. I have sent a direct message.
Oh! To whom? I wonder.
Oh dear.
Okay. Dream nearly snaps his neck, turning, or with as quickly as he turns towards Maka.
Like his...
Like the crack of his whip that you've seen him use, his neck turns to you.
But I don't hear, like, I'm just staring forward.
And then back to the soldiers like nothing happened.
It's just like that. It's like that gif where like Stewie's like turning his head almost fully 190 degrees because Brian said something crazy.
He forgot he was a cat for a moment and tried to turn into an owl.
Right. So the the guard responds, "No, I don't know that name. Sorry, but well, if you can talk, it means you're smart. It's some kind of magic. So you're not one of the dyers that's been hitting the town at all, have you?"
As a matter of fact, I have been trying to kill the dyers that have been rendered with a great sickness before they can spread that sickness to anything else.
I'm not 100% sure, but alright. Hey, let's come on, let's get inside. Don't do anything funny, but we'll keep an eye on you. It's the strangest thing.
So we're not allowed to tell jokes here?
Sure. Little dragon. Whatever. Yeah. You could see the visible confusion from everything that's just transpired.
Cobalt looks back at everyone else like, what? He said not to do something funny.
Yeah, well, welcome to Affarit. Go on in.
Thank
And
you.
they step back to the gate and step to the sides. Do you guys enter into the city?
Yes, with
Yeah.
a bit of hurry so we don't have to deal with the guards anymore.
As you're hurrying past the guards, you hear them back and forth between one another, just kind of, did it really talk? Are you sure it was it talking? Hey, it wasn't some kind of a trick, was it? No, it definitely talked to me, like, directly. That's kind of, is things like that. Didn't one of them say it was a dragon? I don't know what's going on with that. I don't get paid enough for this. And then you just make it through, and you're in the town proper. Something all of you notice inside the town very quickly is how generally quiet it is. There's not a lot of people out on the streets. You see maybe a handful here and there. And this is a decent-sized town. There should be many more people out and about, especially at this time of day for a town this size, but it's very quiet. Several of the buildings are 2 to 3 stories tall and have gone and become disheveled, boarded up, a lot of them. One of the first things that you see upon walking in is the main thoroughfare, which is lined on both sides and around a central circle with what appear to be shops. But the majority of them all are boarded up, have closed signs out on the front. This is a once bustling town that has since become rough and downtrodden. Taking a look out into the main thoroughfare, you're able to easily see a couple shops that do still seem to be open. 4 specifically that you're able to pick up on. One of them is labeled Mage's Respite. Another is a blacksmith, Dooley Smithy. Another is Greta's General Goods. and the final is a bigger building compared to all of them, and is easily recognized as the inn, and that is labeled as the Bent Quill Inn. All other buildings are residential, closed up windows, closed doors, or are shops that have just closed down and have been boarded up.
Here's hoping that their nightlife is more appealing.
Isn't this a larger city than Dial? Right?
This place is a lot more depressing than I thought it would be.
Are the guards still around us?
You do see several guards patrolling through, about 4 in immediate view, but only one of them is from the front gate, and he is keeping his distance, but keeping a watchful eye on the lot of you.
Cobalt is sort of like looking at the shops, and he says, I just thought of a problem.
What?
Well, if we were going to resupply, don't we need money for that?
Ah, yeah. Good thing you mentioned that. And this goes back to what I said Kaiser was working on a little bit earlier. He's going to reach into one pouch and pull out 74 gold and hand it to Cobalt. And then he'll reach into another pouch and pull out another 74 gold and hand that bunch to Dream. I came across this back at the den. I figured it's only fair to split it up between us since we all worked really hard in there.
How fortuitous.
And then that also leaves 74 that Kaiser holds on to as well.
Kaiser, if I may, you have a certain magic rock on you, don't you?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure you
Ringing a
picked
bell.
that up. Would you have kept that with your gold?
No, I would have put that in the backpack in general.
Okay. Continue on.
Okay.
So 3 shops and an inn.
Is the inn where I smell the most beer, alcohol kind of thing?
Yes.
Just take a mental note of it.
Even if we did want to resupply, I don't see any stores that would be really open to it. At least from this vantage point.
I'm gonna walk toward the general goods store.
Okay.
Speaking of, you mentioned one of the names. Can't remember what you said it was, but I think would it be recognizable as a blacksmith, basically?
Dooley Smithy, yes.
Yes. Okay. Is that somewhere Kaiser would like to visit?
Sure. Let's go ahead and we'll go with Cobalt heading over to the general goods store. You see the hanging sign there. It is well maintained overall. Fresh paint you can see, but the rest of the wood seems like it's been there for quite some time. It is clear, big letters, Greta's General Goods on the hanging sign in front. And while in general it looks a little less than stellar, you could see that whoever takes care of it does the best they can to take care of it. The door is currently closed, so you go towards the door?
Yeah.
As you go to reach for the door opens. And what you see is someone about your height, completely covered, head to toe, in heavy clothing, scarves, hoods, coats, pants, you name it. It's layer upon layer. They accidentally bump into you. And you hear, oh, sorry. And then they turn and walk their way off.
I kind of shrug and double check my pockets and stuff, make sure that I didn't drop or lose anything.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. And the thought does cross your mind while you're doing this. It is actually a little bit chillier here. You're getting closer to the mountains, and the temperature does kind of drop a bit.
17 on my perception.
Sure. Everything still seems there. Seems you're all okay.
What did that person look like? Like, was I able to even tell underneath all the...
It was so completely covered, you couldn't tell. Even the was muffled behind all of the scarves.
Okay. That was weird.
But the general goods store, the door is open and awaiting.
I'm gonna go in.
Okay. Entering into the store, it's got some basic curtains hanging up to cover over the windows, several knickknacks here and there placed about, lots of shelves, and a counter. And at the counter, which is a little bit lower, there is a dwarven woman standing behind the counter, doing the best to braid her beard as she can. She looks up from the mirror that she's using. So, oh, well, goodness me, welcome in. Hello, little one, look at you. I don't see many like you. Lots of small ones coming into my shop today. Hello. Welcome to Greta's. I am Greta. What can I get for you here in Affarit?
In Dwarven, he's going to look right at her and go, in Dwarven, he's going to say, hello, I am Cobalt. It is a pleasure to meet you, Greta. I'm looking for hopefully some potions to help with fighting off being hurt.
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize. And then she swaps to Dwarven. You're fucking right you did, coming into my shop like that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now you came in looking for some bloody potions, you did. I don't do any of that shit, not in here. Now it's too magical for me. But I've got the other general shit you might need. I've got some foodstuffs, I've got your bedrolls, I've got your camping supplies, your pikes to shove
immediately because I need a new fucking bedroll. I broke my fucking last one.
You need a new fucking bedroll?
It out in Dwarven.
Oh my lord. All the 12 in the high heavens themselves. Look at the shit you did to this fucker right here. Yeah, no, alright, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fucking get you a great bedroll. It's gonna be premium, and because I like you, because you're speaking in the fucking tongue that I learned as a wee little lass, we're gonna get it to you nice and simple. Give me a gold for this bedroll and it's fucking yours.
He quickly goes into the bag and pulls out a gold, holding it with both hands. He's so excited.
There you go, yes, right. Takes the gold, hands the bedroll to you. A fucking brilliant transaction that was right
there. He's just in Dwarven. Fucking A right.
Fucking right. What else can I get for you, little guy?
I'm not even there, and I'm like, what the frick is happening right now?
I don't know if there's really much else that Kobold actually needs. I don't know if anyone else needed anything. In a quick glance, does anything catch my eye? I'll roll another perception if you want, but
Yeah, give me a perception check.
11.
With an 11, it's a general goods store. Basic things that you would expect for adventuring, for day-to-day life in a town. There's some gardening equipment, some farming equipment, basic hand tools and the such. So sickles and scythes that you would expect for farm work.
Are there any like packets of seeds?
Yeah, if you're looking for some seed packets, she's got a couple of them.
He would like a couple like seed packets, even if it's just random ones. Stuff he could take back home with him.
Oh, yeah. No, I got some seeds for you, but you gotta be careful. These fuckers don't like to grow in anything but cold climates, so you gotta make sure you do it in the coldest of shits.
Oh, the monastery, and he continues in Dwarven. This whole conversation's in Dwarven.
Uh-huh.
The monastery where I'm fucking from is up in the mountain.
In the fucking mountains? What? We're almost in the mountains. Which mountains you fucking from?
He's like, I'm from the Mountain Flower Temple of Rindesh.
What the fuck's a Rindesh?
And he fiddles through and pulls out one of his holy symbols of Rindesh.
Yeah, can't say I've seen that shit before. That's brand new to me. Fucking blow my mind.
He offers to trade one of his holy symbols of Rindesh for the flower, or for the seeds, for some packets of seeds to plant them back home.
Hell yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's fine by me. I'll part with 6 bags of seeds for you. That's perfectly fine. This is a nice little curiosity. I can put it up on the wall and learn more about this fucker Rindesh you're talking about. Isn't that the name of the continent over with those fucking pirates?
Well, yes, but the Rindesh is the fucking dragon god of flora and fauna.
Oh shit, there's dragon gods now? Oh, okay, now you caught me my bloody interest, you did. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna look into this. This sounds right interesting.
Okay. I guess with that he's gonna leave. He's now got a new bedroll and packets of seeds.
Sure.
On his way out, and continue in Dwarven. Thank you. Have a good fucking day.
Oh, I had the best fucking day. You too now. She slips back. Make sure you come back to Greta's later whenever you need anything you need, sweetie.
I will. Step out. Happy as a lark at this point. Not what I intended to walk in there for, but...
Alright, well, there you go. Alright, Kaiser, you walked over towards the smithy.
Yeah, and speaking of, you reminded me that this is something I wanted to do and would have done on the road, but I can do it now, is... Now that I've had a long rest, I actually wanted to take that rock and use the goggles on it.
Oh, the magic rock?
Yeah.
Sure. We'll go ahead and we'll allow that really fast. Getting the identify on it, what you are able to gather is... This is a... The magic rock specifically holds potential. And the potential you gather can be fastened into some kind of a trinket, a jewelry piece, something like that, but it's sturdy and it holds protection magics in it. If one were to fasten it and carve away at it, a steady hand, a practiced hand, would be able to create some piece of jewelry with it that could offer additional protections.
Okie dokie. Kaiser will definitely file that away and put it back in the bag. Speaking of, because you asked about the gold, the rock would have been in with the bars.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see if you pulled out the rock earlier, that's all. Bars are fine.
But yeah, off to the smithies.
Okay. Heading over to the smithy, you hear the gentle ting as a hammer comes down on a piece of metal, repeatedly as it goes. There is a elven man hammering away. Seems to be of Sun Elven descent. Bright blonde hair, long eyebrows curling off the side of his head, and ears out to there, if you know what I mean. He's wearing a set of goggles himself, and just happens to catch you in his periphery as you approach, and puts the hammer down and lifts the goggles up. Well, it's not often you see a dragonborn walking into the middle of this podunk place like this. Hello, fine sir, or madam?
Sir.
Sir, yes. Hello, fine sir. Welcome to Dooley's Smithy. I am the proprietor, Mr. Dooley, at your service. What can I do for you today?
I was hoping maybe you could provide some information on something I found.
Certainly. What have you found?
I'll reach into the bag and I'll pull out the hilt that we found at the den. And holding it in both hands, hold it out in front of him.
Oh my. Yes, strange. Second hilt I've seen in but 2 days. It's very curious. This one is not like the other one that I saw, but... Give me just a moment. And he puts the hilt down on the anvil and takes both of his hands into kind of a fan position with his fingers, crossing over on top of it before quickly and abruptly swiping them out to his sides. And in his wake, there is a sheen of almost like glitter that drops down from his hands and coats the hilt of the blade. His eyes glow momentarily, leaving trails of mana and essence out the corners. This is no mere ordinary hilt, no. This is in fact a weapon all in itself. Shall I demonstrate for you?
It would be greatly appreciated.
Certainly. Let me go ahead and see if I can figure out exactly what it has. Yes, here we are. Now, make sure you take close eye and close attention. He grabs the hilt in his hand and holds it as if there was a blade, it would be straight across his body, rather than forward, going parallel with his body. And he looks at you, and with a little smirk and a wink, illuminate. And a beam of light erupts out from the hilt, where a blade would be, and forms the blade of, equivalently, something akin to a short sword. The light itself hardens and becomes solid, giving off a gentle glow, and you can see it's actually radiating light from this. He goes and he turns it in his hand, And so sure enough, this one right here is quite nice. Allow me to demonstrate. Churns and gives a slash with the blade at a piece of leather that was hanging. Slices it right in two, cleanly. Holds it back out in front of him. Dim. And the blade retracts back in and disappears.
Motherfucking lightsaber.
It's a motherfucking lightsaber.
No, it's a legally distinct lightsaber.
A legally distinct laser sword.
It's a beam sword. There we go. A beam sword.
It's a beam sword.
Well, I can certainly say that's not what I expected. At all.
The things that we see with our eyes are not always exactly what they appear to be. But yes, that's exactly what this is. I believe I heard of this one being referred to as Zelu's Touch. It's not quite right for me, honestly, though. I like the heft of a hammer in my hands as I come down against the steel. This is far too late for me.
And now that you mention it, I don't usually hear too much about elves being blacksmiths myself.
Oh, well. Certainly, in this area, you don't see very many of us. No, we tend to stick to Solanor, more magical accoutrement that we can use, more facilities that help make it a little bit easier to handle the metal work. But I like the challenge. It gives me that rush. I cannot argue with it. So here I am, working for my fine dwarven friends.
Well, my good man, your information has definitely been enlightening, you could say.
Yes. I'm glad I could be of service. Is there anything else that I can help you with, my fine man?
Not at the immediate moment, but if I do think of something, I will definitely come back and visit, though.
You see him grow a little disappointed for a moment. That's quite alright. Well, I'll be here doing as I need to. Wait. What is that odor? Sir, are you carrying what I think you're carrying? Tell me it's not so. He rushes
and as
over
he's
to
going
you.
over that, Kaiser's eyes is just getting wider and wider and wider, and like, oh shit.
He rushes over to you and unceremoniously digs into your bag. Oh, I know it's here. I can smell it, I can feel it, I can taste it.
Bad touch, bad touch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Kaiser's just frozen in fear at the moment, like, what's going on?
Before finally he goes, "Oh, there you are, my gorgeous, look at you." And he pulls out from your bag the metal bars that you picked up. The slight forest hue, the sheen of the steel underneath it all, but steel it is not. Oh, where, my fine sir, did you come across such a wonderful supply of adamantine? Oh, it's so good to touch it once again. Oh, it just feels so nice on the fingers. I haven't seen these since I was back in Solanor as a mere apprentice.
I think he needs to be alone with that metal.
Oh, please, you have to tell me. Where did you come across this gorgeous specimen?
Unfortunately, it's not as exciting. I found it in a facility, same place I found the Zelu's touch.
Oh, just casually discarded like that. How could they? Oh, my poor sweetie. And he's stroking the bar. There, don't you worry.
Tisking broke me.
Don't you worry, Daddy's here. Nothing will harm you now.
I'm glad I'm not witnessing that.
I need an adult.
Oh, goodness. Oh, but alas, 'tis not mine. The things that I could do to this. The things I could do with this.
Would you like to work with it?
I would love to work with this. It would be such an honor. But tell me, what would you have me create? What can my hands mold these darlings into for you?
It's been a long time, and I've been itching, the past couple days especially, to hold a long sword in my hands again.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, my dear. The adamantine is not typically built for weaponry. It's very difficult to sharpen. Much better suited for armament. Much better for protection. You can't sharpen adamantine, it's too strong. But it certainly can protect.
That makes sense, and Kaiser will look down. Well, this chest plate is starting to get sort of old and well used. Could use a replacement.
Yes, I suppose a good replacement I could set up with that. Didn't you have... And looks over your shoulder, and because you were just kind of there, sees Maka.
Oh no! Don't you bring me into this.
Brought you into it.
Ah, shit.
Is that big old puppy yours?
Yes, he is a friend of mine, actually.
Is a friend? Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, you call your pet your friend.
Maka, why don't you say hello?
Well, hello, Maka. Walks up and sticks out his
And wags
hand.
the tail.
Yep.
Is like
Sticks out his hand. Would you like to shake?
puts the paw up into the hand.
Oh, he's so smart, so well trained. You must be so proud.
Kaiser sort of looks back and forth for a moment. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, would it be possible to use that to craft something to protect him?
Oh, goodness, that would be so wonderful, protecting your loved little pet. Oh, I love the idea. Making your pet nigh indestructible. No blade, no arrow can pierce or slash away. Oh, true love for one's loved pet. Oh, my heart, it aches. It's so sweet.
I'm literally just gonna look. I'm silently gonna just look at Kaiser and just like that big canine, like acting kind of stupid.
Like I said, in the end, he is still technically a dog at heart.
Ah, yes, but a big wolf by nature. Look at you, such big paws. Oh, we must protect these paws. They're so big and gorgeous and fluffy. Look at you. Oh my god. Yes, if you would have me make armor for your canine companion, I would be honored.
then yes, I would like to put you to the task of using that to create armor for my friend here.
Yes, I shall. Oh, this will be my finest work yet.
It sounds so defeated. Like it's like I wanted the new armor.
Now, here, let me make a deal with you.
Oh no, once Kaiser realized it, it's like, yeah, this is a much better idea, all things considered. Especially after the stunt you pulled back at the den.
Oh, there's a story behind there, is there? Oh, what did this little rascal do?
Interrupted the meal of some mercenaries.
For shame.
Just like the stupid wagging tail, just like.
Oh, but I can't stay mad at a face like that. Look at you, is so fresh. No, I can't stay mad at that. Alright, let me make a deal with you. I should easily be able to go ahead and make proper adamantine armor for your canine, your beloved Wolfie, using 2 of the bars that you have here. The other 2, if you would like, I can modify some armor to make it adamantine for you as well.
Might as well put them all together, make a set.
Oh, a matching set, I love it, yes. Now, do you have the armor that you would like for me to modify for you? Is it what you're wearing there, yes?
Yeah, it would be to modify what I've got on here.
Oh, certainly, certainly. Give. I should work on my magic, yes. So you go ahead and you doff your armor. Takes a couple minutes to do so. What armor are you wearing?
Let's see here. It is currently chainmail.
Okay. So this will be chain that you can upgrade into adamantine. But you do notice that there are some things around the shop as well. Notably, some plate. Now, I can absolutely dip this chain into some adamantine for you, make you far more sturdy, keep you going without any kind of an issue. But it will take a little bit of time. Certainly won't take too long. I am a master craftsman, as I am. Perhaps I can also work on something else for you in the meanwhile. Who knows?
Well, first, let me ask before I have you work on the chainmail. I notice you have a bit of plate over there.
I do. It's a fine set, full plate mail, freshly crafted not but a month ago. No one has been able to buy it, unfortunately, here. Things have been a little rough as of recently. Are you interested?
Possibly. How much are you charging for it?
Oh, goodness. Well, this is one of my finer pieces. I am truly proud of how this came out. It was painstakingly crafted over about a month to 2 months, I would say. The materials were... well, they were not expensive, but they weren't cheap by any means. I would say... truthfully, I think I'd be able to go with about 600 gold pieces or so for this piece. And that's because I'd be able to modify it with the adamantine. Oh, that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful, but unfortunately a bit too rich for my blood.
No, that's alright, I understand. It is tough these days here in the area. That's why it's been here. I haven't been able to sell it. But one day, someone will come along and see the true value and be able to afford it. Who knows? Maybe you'll be back at my doorstep before too long.
Perhaps I will.
but I still can go ahead with the modification if you would like. It would be an honor. I won't even charge.
I would be honored to have you work on it.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. Thank you. I will go ahead and get your chainmail all nice and sturdy and protective, and your little canine friend here. Oh, we're going to make you the bestest of the armors. Come. Keep him still, and we're going to get some measurements so I can do this appropriately, okay?
Kaiser just sort of looks down at Maka, because he knows he's understanding what's being said, so he just looks at him like, just shaking his head.
And Maka just continues to have that stupid canine smile because he does understand.
Normally, I would make you roll a deception check, but he is so completely enamored and distracted with the project that he's not even thinking about that. Alright, so he goes ahead and he gets some measurements. He does a quick little jot down, and then says, yes, I would be able to get all of this done with a little bit of my enchantment, and if I call in my apprentice, we should be able to complete this in not but 2 days' time.
Alrighty, 2 days then.
Excellent. I'll see you then. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this.
And on that note, Kaiser will reach in and he'll pull out 2 gold. This is for the information on the sword.
Oh, you such a darling. Thank you. This is going to pay for a nice meal tonight for me and the apprentice. I very much appreciate this. Thank you so much. Now then, I must be off to work. Let me get a hold of my apprentice and we shall get to this post-haste. Thank you so much for stopping by.
And thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's been an honor. And as you start to walk away...
As I start to walk away, I sort of snap my fingers in front of Maka's eyes to try and snap him out of it. Maka, come on.
And I just follow along.
You hear behind you, Reginald! It's time to get to the smith. Reginald! It's time to work! And then that's all you hear.
And after we're out of the store and out of earshot, I'll look at Maka. I think I need to borrow a bar of cobalt salt soap after that.
I don't understand what happened back there, but I did not want to cause more of a fuss than I already have, so that's why I kept quiet.
And that was uncomfortable. Got some stuff out of it, but uncomfortably. And for the first time, this would be Maka's first time actually seeing Kaiser out of his armor. He's just wearing right now a simple tunic and leather trousers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ah, you are also a little less bulky than I thought you were.
Yeah, the armor really does help the image.
I would like to know what all of your passive perceptions are.
13.
15.
Mm-hmm.
14.
14.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Kaiser?
sorry, 15.
Okay. Then we're going to go with this then. Dream. As you're watching the people go about and, the rest of your party do their shopping and everything like that, you notice out of the corner of your eye some person walking behind the side of a building. And this catches you as interesting because they seem to be limping slightly and leaving little trickle of blood behind them.
Okay.
Notably, the guards do not notice this person.
I would like to cast Pass Without Trace and
Okay.
pursue. Stealthily.
Yep. Did you let anybody else know that you're going?
Nope. Everyone else is doing their own thing. I'm kind of assuming that this is happening while they're already inside the stores. I was
It
planning on
is.
investigating while I was waiting anyway.
Yeah, it is. So, all right, go ahead and give me a stealth check with a plus 10.
Okay. So that'll be a 21.
Okay, with 21, you are very confident that who you're pursuing does not notice that you are pursuing. You turn the corner and you see the trickle of blood still curling around and going deeper into the alleyway. Before you see at the end this person sitting down just around the corner and his foot sticking out into the alleyway.
Interesting. Is there any way that I can get a better line of sight?
We could go around the building. You could go on top of the building.
I have a climb speed. Let's go on top.
Okay. Heading up the top of the building, being able to climb, it's not difficult. It's a little ramshackle, so there's plenty of handholds to get you up there, almost like a ladder, but not officially a ladder. You make it to the top of the building, and you go over to the side and look down. And from above, you see someone familiar to you. A familiar face. From above, you recognize their hair as a deep black kind of hair, and you see them just kind of leaning back, nursing a wound on their side, and kind of wincing a little bit in pain as they sit down there. And this person is the one that I've recently talked to you about.
I kind of assume. And okay. And I will climb down.
Okay.
Is there anything for me to perch on, like a barrel or something?
Sure, why not? We'll say
Okay.
he's leaning against a barrel and doesn't notice you showing up behind him, and you perch on the barrel above him.
Okay. Then, once I perch on the barrel, I'll make myself known.
Mm-hmm. How do you go about that?
You know, people can still see your foot from the alley.
God, jeez. Gee. What in the... Well, hey, kiddo. Didn't expect to see you out here, Dream.
I've been on the trail, and it led me back here.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm still following that too, best I can. It's, really curious, right? It just seems to pop up, and I'm starting to get an idea, but it's rough. And well, this doesn't exactly help, and he points to his side. You can see he's got a gash on his side at that point, and he's kind of wincing in pain, trying to hide it a little bit, best he can.
I was wondering about that, actually.
Yeah.
How could you have been so sloppy?
The shiny caught my attention off to the side, I guess, and the shine off of it just blinded me for a moment. You know how it is. Something pretty, you want it, you just kind of gotta go for it. And, well, kind of bit me this time.
Kinky?
Only if you want it to be. Mm.
One moment. And I will cast Healing Word.
Okay. What is your healing word, by curiosity?
Let's see. So it looks like I heal him for 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're asking what I specifically say?
Yes, sir. If you don't know now, that's fine.
He just shouts Band-Aid.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Fuck you, boom.
Blessings of wind, purity of earth. Be healed.
Hefty word.
Yeah, you still put a lot behind it. You got that flair for the dramatic. I hope you didn't get that from me.
No, I have other people to blame for that, I suppose.
Yeah, nah, I feel you there. Thanks for the patch job, kid. I really did need that. So hey, you're here. I'm here. Want to help me out with something?
On one condition. We compare notes.
Oh, absolutely gonna compare notes. This whole portal nonsense is a problem. We're gonna take care of it. Alright, yeah, come on. Let's go sit down at the inn. I'll buy you a pint. We'll compare notes. How's that sound?
I do have some compatriots. Mind if you go ahead, and I'll meet up with you once I let them know where I am.
Sure, yeah. Alright. Sounds good by me. He goes and he grunts a little bit and hops up and then starts heading back out of the alley into the main thoroughfare. Which is where all of your companions are. So it's one of those things where it's like you say goodbye to somebody and then you end up both walking in the same direction.
Oh, I'll climb back up over the building.
Oh, okay.
So it's not awkward.
Yep.
After coming out of the general goods store, I would actually go to the potion shop, or
There's a magic shop.
magic shop.
Yep.
Because I was looking for potions. That was the initial intent here.
Sure. We will save that for off screen, just because we're a little bit over time.
Mhm.
But the man that you were talking to gets up. He goes back into the main thoroughfare, kind of stretches, rolls his shoulders a little bit, and starts to head over towards the inn, which is at the main center circle. It's, surrounded by all the other businesses and everything too. I assume you hop down from the building at that point?
Yes.
Okay. So hopping down, you start to head over towards your companions, and your associate looks over, gives you a quick nod, and then looks over and sees who you're moving to, which in this case will be Cobalt, Kaiser, and Maka. It takes a look at the short kobold, gives a little smirk, looks at the Dragonborn, gives a little bit of a nod, like, okay, I could see this. And looks down over at Maka and gives a smile and says, that's interesting. You see him kind of mouthing like that, and then continues to walk towards the inn before stopping in his tracks. Maka. The smell of alcohol and genitals hits your nose.
Thank you for that description.
As you turn and you see your first friend stopping, mouth agape and in disbelief, as he looks over at you. And I think that is a great time to go ahead and end tonight's session.
I had a feeling you were
ending
going to
on
do that, where you were going to
alcohol.
end it right there, so that's why I didn't react immediately.
You're literally ending it on the scent of alcohol and genitals.
Damn right I am.
Hey, sometimes you just need those creative cliffhangers.
Right? And the best part is that's all Maka.
That's canon. I
That's
actually
canon.
put that.
Yep. So yeah, that does it for tonight, guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. It seems like we had some great roleplay going on tonight.
Speaking of roleplay, as one quick aside, as Kaiser and Maka was coming back, Kaiser would have explained to Maka, him being without his armor is how Maka felt when he lost all of his scent back at the den.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, I feel naked.
Yeah.
Well, further
Feel not
conversations.
myself.
Yep, further conversations with all of this we'll be able to have as we probably will sit down and have a pint together coming up next time we get together. So, from all of us for tonight, that does it. We will be back in 2 weeks' time, which puts the next day that we're going to be back May 13th. So make sure to go ahead and catch us May 13th for another fun episode, another fun session. I had a lot of fun. I hope you viewers did as well. I hope my players did as well.
Indeed.
I think our DM needs a cold shower after that shopping session.
A little bit.
Yeah,
actually.
a little bit. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh boy, I needed to fend myself off a little bit.
Uh-huh. Hey, elves, man, they get carried away. What can I say? But that does it for us for tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks on the 13th, everybody. Make sure if you missed anything to go ahead and check out the YouTube. It's going to be posted 1 week from today, so you can go ahead and catch up on everything. And keep an eye out as well. I'm going to do the best I can to start getting some additional content out through TikTok and everything like that, so we can spread the word and be a bigger family, get more people involved in the story. That's what I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that does it for us for tonight. Have a good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Good night, peeps.
Later.